Hello, this series of presentations is brought to you by the Climate Reality Project New York State Coalition. The purpose of these presentations is to show you how to use federal, New York State, and utility incentives to electrify your home and transport, as well as source renewable electricity. This will help you save money when you upgrade your home's appliances and systems to become healthier and more comfortable. As mentioned, the primary purpose of these presentations is to show you how to use incentives to electrify. The second goal we have is to give simple guidance on how to plan and prioritize your personal electrification journey. Now I'd like to go through some housekeeping notes for this presentation and the series in general. This series includes 6 chapters, and not all of them will be relevant for you. Feel free to just watch the chapters relevant to you. Some pages in this presentation will have a lot of text. Please don't worry about reading it all during the video. You can read the details which are pertinent to you once you download the presentation. And the details on how to download the presentation are at the end of this video. There are numerous clickable links in the full presentation that take you to websites that provide more information and detailed instructions. So now let's get started. And in this presentation, we'll show you that in addition to saving you money, electrification will improve the performance, safety, and health of the home and vehicle your family uses. In addition, by electrifying and sourcing renewable electricity, you will be doing your part to reduce the impacts of climate change by reducing your use of fossil fuels such as gasoline, natural gas, fuel oil, and coal, all of which, when combusted, trap heat in our atmosphere and cause climate change. The impacts of climate change are unfortunately increasingly witnessed by all of us. And this list of climate change impacts should motivate all of us to do our part to make a better future for our children and grandchildren. It is also important that we act quickly. The sooner we cut the sources of climate pollution, the larger the impact will be. We should be making the decisions and taking the actions to reduce 76% of our climate pollution this decade to meet our climate pledges. Here are the 11 steps to reduce your energy use and switch it over to clean, renewable electricity. The yellow areas are related to the home, the blue ones related to transport, and the red ones related to sourcing renewable electricity. Subsequent chapters will address each of these areas. And this list is not in any particular order other than the 3 areas I just described. Each household will have its own particular circumstances, and so we will present guidance in the next chapter of this series on how to plan your own journey. Before we go any further, it is important to highlight that this is not about sacrifice, just the opposite. The electrified future is healthier and more comfortable than the old fossil-fueled world. For instance, with heat pump, space, and water heating, you won't miss the smells and pollution of oil or gas combusting inside your home. Also, EVs are faster, smoother, cleaner, and more powerful, and they also require less maintenance like oil changes. And community solar allows everyone to get solar electricity at a 5 to 10% discount. It is also important to highlight that electrification will save you money. If you replace your fossil fuel devices when they are at the end of their life, the electric versions are often cheaper, especially with the help of incentives, and they are almost always cheaper to run. Now that I mentioned incentives, let me show you this very important page. We have researched and summarized all the incentives available from the federal and state governments, as well as the utilities to electrify your home, transport, and source renewable electricity. So listed down the page are the 11 electrification steps we discussed. Going across the page, the first 3 columns headed in blue are for federal programs. The first 2 of these columns describes the rebate program for low and moderate income households that will be announced later this year. We believe that the federal guidelines will identify households earning less than 80% of the area median income will be considered low-income households, and those earning between 80 and 150% of the area median income will be considered moderate income households. The third of these columns is where you find the federal tax credits. The next 3 columns, headed in green, are the New York State incentives. The first column is for various programs, the second column is for rebates, and the last column is for tax credits. We recommend that you print this page out so that you can refer to it throughout the presentations and make notes in it. Let me explain how it works by showing 3 examples. In the yellow section, you see the rebates for air source heat pumps on line 3. There is a federal tax credit of 30% capped at $2,000 and significant utility rebates that can total over 1/3 of the project cost. In addition, there will be federal rebates for low and moderate income households that can bring down the cost even further. In the blue section, on line 7, you can find the incentives for EVs. New EVs can earn a federal tax credit of up to $7,500, and used EVs can get tax credits of 30% up to $4,000. In addition, New York State offers tax credits between $500 and $2,000. Both tax credits can be taken as rebates as of this year. There are quite a few rules that apply to these credits that we will discuss in the chapter on transport electrification. Our last example is in the red section on line 9. When you sign up for community solar, you will get real solar produced within the territory of your utility, and it will cost you 5 to 10% less than what you would normally pay your utility. Again, we recommend that you print out this page for future reference. This completes Chapter 1, the introduction. You can access the presentation using the QR code or the bit.ly link shown here, or you can find the link in the video description. The next chapter addresses how to plan your electrification journey. Thank you for your time and good luck.